Hey, friends, family, neighbors, patriots. This is Billy and Sean. We're back with Harnessing Your Wealth, another episode. And our guest today is James Dexter. James is the founder and the CEO. I'm going to give him a title. I don't know if that's his title or not, but he's running this company, StablePro. And this company is one that I think is something to be aware of out there if you're in the horse industry or any kind of niche in the horse business and you're a trainer and you're looking for some help, which I know a lot of trainers need help. I mean, mentally, emotionally,
Emotionally.
they need a lot of help. And this is going to be one of those things that can take some time off their hands, do the hard work. Most people don't like paperwork, and I'm one of them. I'm fast to try to get that pushed off my desk. So James has come up with a plan here and a company, a software program that allows trainers to really capitalize on using this system and this technology so they can spend their time on the horses and doing what they love to do. So James, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's such an honor to be here with you guys.
Well,
Yeah, but
grateful for you taking a minute. Yeah.
yeah, so like you said, the paperwork was always kind of an issue that I'd see that trainers would struggle with. And I watched a lot of trainers struggling with it and eventually decided at some point there's got to be an easier way that we can manage invoicing and scheduling, all of that stuff. So just kind of sat down, started planning. Next thing I knew, my entire bedroom looked like I was tracking serial killers because there's note cards everywhere, strings
Yeah.
everywhere.
Pins
It was,
and ropes tied to these
yeah.
different pins across your living room. Okay. That's a good start. So that's
Yeah.
how you got started. You just said there's a problem here and I'm going to find a solution for it. You had no background or training in technology at all.
No, not at all. I grew up just ranching out here in the middle of nowhere. It's still kind of consider myself that ranch kid. By no means am I a professional speaker, as you can probably tell, but
I think you're doing great.
Yep.
I'm learning and picked up some education along the way, and now eventually kind of just transitioned to I knew, I guess going back, I knew I wanted to build something. And so I was kind of on the lookout for what kind of problems are out there that I could be a part of. I knew I wanted that thing to also be in the horse industry because that's where my passion is. So really once I found this, I really devoted everything, my heart and soul, to solving these problems.
Hmm. Well, that's a great story. And I think one that a lot of, especially young people, are, I would say, lean toward going for something that you find as a passion and then find yourself a niche inside there.
Yeah, I think
You can
people
find
get
yourself.
tied up in that they don't necessarily know the exact way. They're maybe not the subject matter expert. They may not be super good at coding or all those things. They get tied up in it and they just never get going on a project. You have to get started. You have to be devoted to learning, figuring things out. You can't be shy. You got to reach out to people. I developed amazing network of both trainers, even developers, obviously, but also people who just supported the idea and wanted to advise me on how to make it better.
You came up with
Nice.
this idea. I'm interested in this. You came up with this idea. All right, here's a problem. These people are sending me invoices. I still get invoices today from a camera written out on a napkin. Here you go. Send me this. This is what you owe me. Wow. I hope you're keeping very good records of what my horse is doing over there.
Yeah, the
So
tax
you,
person loves him.
hmm
it's a lot. So you have this idea, and you sit down and kind of ponder it, and you wonder, I can make this simpler. What was your first step? Did you call somebody? Did you ask some other trainers? Did you call some developers? Or did you just start with your notepad?
I more so started with my notepad because I was running around. One of my trainers we were at the Run for a Million, and we're talking about the top echelon of trainers. And so I'm running around in the barn there just watching not only the trainers, but the trainers' spouses stressing out, constantly lugging around their laptops, trying to uh, get the invoicing done, running up to the room, get invoicing done, and just watch the stress involved there. So I started noticing it in that group of trainers. Then I came home and started interacting more with my local trainers, and I had some horses here with them as well. And like I said, I'd middle of the night just get a text message with a picture of a scribbled out note, and because he just finished getting them out. And so I was like, that's where I really started seeing like this is the problem. So eventually that led to just drawing it out, and I went everywhere with a notebook for a little while. Then eventually it transitioned to cards that I would lay out like it was a horrible game of um, solitaire. And um, that just kept growing and growing. And eventually I distilled out what the important stuff was, redid everything, and what we built out as an MVP. Uh, got some phenomenal advice from an advisor to just keep interviewing when it came to looking for a developer, and interviewed until I learned the entire process inside and out and all the options. And then finally found just this awesome developer and brought him on right away. So proud to have him working on my team. So
How
shout
did
out
you
to
find the
Michael.
developer? Did you,
Sorry.
was it, how did you find the developer?
I use a service called Upwork where a lot of talent is
And they can bid
located.
on your job. You put a job out there, tell them what you're wanting. Is that how it works?
Yep, it's a contract role. And so I brought him on through that.
Hmm. So you'd formed this company, right? You incorporated, I'm assuming.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And then how many people are in your company now?
Well, I run basically everything. I have a social media team um, that I work closely with. That includes two people, and then I have my developer that I brought on, Michael, and so there's technically four of us right now.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Growing. And I met you, James, out at the AQHA convention. So we're both on the marketing committee. And I was talking to someone there and they were asking what I do. And I was telling them all the things we were doing to promote our business. And they're like, hey, you need to meet James because you guys are like, he's a go-getter. He's out there. So, kind of going back to that, how are you marketing your service? How are you trying to get your name out there and how are you picking up new trainers as customers?
So yeah, marketing is huge. And I'm, again, no marketing expert, learning everything on the fly, just going with it, just like we did build out. Um, so initially built up a huge following on Facebook and just keep building that out. Then started getting out there, AQHA was really phenomenal in inviting us to uh, have a booth at uh, the Pro Horseman Academy, which really fits right into the niche we're trying to serve. As it's all younger trainers for the most part, getting into the industry, trying to learn how to improve their programs, and then I could be there to offer them StablePro to help them out. So that was a huge step, and just getting out there more, getting involved. Started some small sponsorships. Um, and now the biggest thing that we just launched, I'm super excited about this, is we've designed an affiliate program so that you can go on there, sign up as an affiliate, and then it'll generate you a unique link. That link can be shared on an association's website. It can be put in social media, whatever you want to do. It can be sent right to your friends. And anyone who uses that link to sign up is recorded under your affiliate program, and it donates back their first month's payment to that affiliate. That way we can kind of help support some of the associations we're working with, whether it's big ones like AQHA, PHA, or just our local ones here in Fallon, or even all the way through Texas. East Texas Stock Horse Association was one of the first affiliates to sign up.
Wow.
That's cool. So the affiliates, is for the listeners who aren't familiar with this whole industry and the terms, affiliates are like branches or subsets of the larger organizations. For example, AQHA has a large number of affiliates and kind of represented by the different states, if you will, but they're called maybe Pacific Coast Quarter Horse Association or Utah Quarter Horse Association. So, and I'm assuming that's what you're talking about when the affiliate can then benefit a little bit by then helping you pass that around to their members.
Yeah, similar to that. And it's funny you bring up Pacific Coast because I just met with them the other day and we're talking about getting signed up as well.
Hmm.
Uh,
A lot of people.
so branching out, connecting with the actual associations that this works with, and because StablePro in its how it is now, it serves one portion of the community, which is um, the interaction between trainer and client for the most part. What it will grow to is eventually going to be much larger than that. And I want to bring these associations on and get them involved with it now so that we can continue that growth. I want people to be able to sign up for their classes that they're going to take. I want people to be able to register their horses and submit their memberships. All of that can be theoretically done, and I have it designed out in my programs here on my thousands of note cards.
And so, yeah, exactly. Are you trying to incorporate a lot of these things under the one payment plan? Like, I guess you have 3 different payment plans. Maybe you can walk us through that, depending on the number of horses that a trainer has in their stable. Talk to us a little bit about that payment option.
Yeah, absolutely. So the only charges associated with this is a subscription fee that is based on the number of horses in the stable. Now, that is what I call an auto-tiered subscription. So it grows and shrinks based on the business that you have. You have 10 horses one month, you're going to basically pay $10 a month. You have 20 horses the next month, you'll be $20 a month. And if it shrinks, it matches what,
Flows with it.
yeah, that way you're never being overcharged, and we just grow with your business. It makes it much easier for the clients that we want to bring in, these young trainers who are looking for technology to help solve their problems. Makes it easier to bring them in and grow with them.
I got you. It's not the number of clients; it's the number of horses. So a
The
client
number
can
of
have
horses
5 of
you're
your 10.
managing.
Okay, got you. And then you're adding these different layers where they can do other things. You're talking about registering their horses and things like that. Is that
Yes.
going out
So
to the end client?
the trainer has their portal where they can manage all their horses, they can set up lessons, they can set up trips. All of that can be done on the trainer's portal. The horses that they set up are then linked to the client, and clients can sign into their own portal, view their horses, see they can add files to their horses so you can keep track of coggins, health certificates, all of that stuff be logged right there. Trainer, client can both access it that way. Eventually, the next steps are going to be that the clients can create their own horses so that they can track or track their horses at home, send it off to the trainer, or just manage their horses at home. Obviously, part of that is getting horses registered. Part of that is just being able to go to shows. Part of it's just tracking their health and wellness. So all of that stuff will be built into the client side. And most of it, we're building it in completely for free so that people can just get on there, access it, and build a dynamic community around this.
You ever done any statistics, like background data? I'm interested. What's the size of the market? How many trainers are out there in the world or in the country?
So in the country itself, we're looking at about 8,000 trainers. And then you start to add in instructors, and the number jumps up quite a bit. And then we're actually just hopefully this afternoon we'll get launched out some features that make it so that expanding into Canada is a little more feasible. So taking into account their taxes and some of their ways they transfer money, which is a little different than we do here using the e-transfer. We're building those features in as options for Canadian trainers. So we're making registration easier. All of that is going to be a little easier for Canadian trainers as well. So we're gradually expanding our market from the 8,000 or so trainers here to trainers in Canada, Mexico, and globally eventually.
And you're saying trainers, you're not just talking about one discipline. I mean, because you're talking about racehorse trainers and show jump trainers, show reining, the whole gamut,
Absolutely.
Western
Yeah,
pleasure.
absolutely. There's nothing that pigeonholes this into one area of training at all. In fact, we have a lot of cow horse trainers on there, cutting trainers on there, even some reiners, starting to get more of the English side on there. And then I have a gal who is working with racehorse trainers, and she's going to start introducing them to it as well. My experience is more on the Western side of things. So I'm having to rely on learning from other people. I mean, the whole process I've had to rely on learning from other people, but I take their feedback and distill it in and continually grow this thing. I mean, as you can see, last time we talked, we were just about to launch the affiliate program. Now we have 2 weeks of affiliate program out there. We're already launching the next program. So we're taking and learning and from the clients and the trainers as fast as we can, distilling it down to stuff we can use, feeding it to my developers and building it out.
You get some new ideas from your existing clients, they get feedback, and then you guys try to make changes where you find that is appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. And so everything's built out in iterations. So I'm never fully satisfied with the product. Um, in this case, I guess one thing was the trips feature. We launched it early on and it could calculate the mileage and some basic features. Now, after surveying trainers who started using it, we were able to build it out. So now you can select which horses you want to bring on a trip. It automatically drops them in, calculates the mileage that you're going to go on the trip, adds it to each horse, then whatever fees that you are going to accumulate on the trip, whether it's stalls, hotels, lodging, food, all of that, just add it on there, automatically divides that up. You can then communicate with your clients what the trip might look like if they wanted to send a horse to a show or haul them across the country, whatever you wanted to do. You can communicate that easier to the client. You can just add it right to the horse's bill or just invoice the client directly.
Mm.
All of those features came from us surveying tons of trainers and really distilling out some best practices.
It's kind of like going on a road trip in the Tesla. Put the map in, it tells you where you need to stop,
where
how
you're
much it's
stopping.
going to cost, and
Yeah.
It's cool because in this case, you can bill all the buddies that want to go along with you. Just here's your share of the bill. With that kind of technology, and when you're bringing in new clients, where do you find what's the hardest sale to get them on board? What's the hardest thing? Is it just the change?
Initially, and this is kind of funny, I'd pitch it to trainers and they loved the idea. They'd immediately sign up and then nothing would happen because the trainer's busy and they'd get distracted and go off and do something else. So one of the first steps we built in when the trainer signed up is they would add their spouse or add their office manager, and then the office manager would be able to continue this onboarding process. That made things so much easier. Um, so getting the trainer sold and then getting them just kind of started and seeing the process. So some of the times, if it's um, new trainer that's not familiar with technology or has any trouble, I'll just sit down and walk them through every step. And eventually we'll build out a team to help with that more. But I try to be as hands-on as I can. And in the process, I kind of learn what things I can improve to make it easier for them, a little smoother of a onboarding process.
And they run their site from their phone? Is it mobile friendly or
Yeah,
on the
so
computer?
it's not a mobile app right now. It is a mobile reactive website that can just be run off of your mobile browser. It works exactly the same whether you're using it on your phone or on the computer. The nice thing and what I've put a lot of thought into is when you're running through the barn, where you want certain buttons to be, where you want to be able to access things if you're on the fly. So everything is designed so that the horse trainer can be doing things out there and not have to sit down at their computer.
Hmm.
Sweet.
Can you, is there a way to have a communication link between the trainer and the owner? For example, pictures or videos, or is that something maybe down the road?
Yeah, so right now when you create a horse's profile, it's um you'll load a picture on there for the client right away as you build out the horse. But in that same process where you can add files, where you building out so that you can add pictures and videos into that as well.
Hmm. That's cool. That keeps people on your site, I would imagine, when you have them going on there to check their horse's status and what's going on,
Yeah,
loading up the community. More eyeballs you can keep on your site, I'm sure the better.
yeah, absolutely. It's just fun to be able to go on there and I mean, you invest so much money into these horses that you love, and then they go off to the trainer, and it's like sending your kid off to college. Um,
Yeah, and some of these trainers never ever call you or tell you what's going on. They just, you're in a dark hole, and nah, never mind. Just I'm gonna, hey, send my check, send my
Let
bill.
me tell you this. When a trainer calls Billy here at the office, it's gonna be a bad day because the only
Yeah.
time you hear from a trainer is when, oh shit, something's wrong.
Sounds wrong. Yeah.
So maybe you need to get your trainers on this so they can just message you.
I'm gonna send this episode out to all my trainers
You
and tell them to
should.
listen to this closely. They don't- yeah, send me a picture every once in a while. That's not that hard. But what about the
Yeah.
financial side of it, James? How hard was it to get linked up with these different payment systems for people
So
to pay their bills?
initially, built it out with Stripe on the back end, and it works great as a feature that's built into the program. However, it has fees associated with it, and I don't want to make anyone utilize something and pay for fees that they don't want to use. So I quickly learned that there were some other options. So we built Stripe in, and then we made it so that you could take just your regular shareable, say Venmo, a shareable link, and put that into your billing information. We then take and generate a button that comes on your invoice. So when the client receives the invoice, they can select whether they want to use Stripe, they can select whether they want to use Venmo, Cash App, all of those options. And if they select one of the other options, it just takes them right to your Venmo
Wow.
or your preferred plan. So there was some growing pains where we had to kind of figure out what the best options were. Stripe was the only thing that really made sense to build in. But then the other ones, once we figured out that and got them so that they could be accessed by the client, it made a world of difference. Because clients, they complain about having a 2% Stripe credit card fee or 2.9% Stripe credit card fee. They can just click Venmo and send it that way.
Mm. Do you have any security issues on the site that you have to monitor?
Not at all. Financially, because everything is handled by those institutions, we have we don't handle anyone's money. We just facilitate those connections. So that's been very nice. Um, and that going into this, when I was designing it out, I told myself, we don't want to actually be physically holding on to anyone's assets.
Mhm.
Want to facilitate those transactions so that the trainer receives it directly from the client.
How about your billing? How does that happen?
And it's through Stripe. The trainer just hits subscribe and it automatically takes it from there.
I see. Got you.
Basically, a one-click process and they're good to go.
They can cancel. Is there any subscription term? Or is there a
No, not at
cancellation
all.
link?
You can cancel at any time.
Sounds like a pretty user-friendly application. It's a web-based deal right now, right? Are you ever thinking about the app?
Yes, so a few challenges with that. First, by doing it on the web-based platform, I can iterate and mm, constantly improve things much faster for a much more affordable price. Um, Once we finally reach the point where I feel like we have perfected the lessons, all of the different features that we want on there, we are going to rebuild it in the mobile application and launch it as a mobile application itself.
Hmm. You have any estimate on that time frame?
Not exactly, because there's so much variability that could be in play. So far, I've built this out on my own dime the entire time. So, um, hiring developers and all of that comes out of my pocket. And it's something where if anything were to change with our situation, if we were to grow much faster, then that would allow us to bring on a bigger development team and um, build things out at a much more fast pace.
Mhm. What's your goal for the next 5 years? What do you envision this thing being?
By 5 years, I hope to have this linked up with all of the major um, associations, the breeder registries, everything, and have the client portal built out in a dynamic way so that clients can do all of their basically connect the entire horse industry. And there will be advanced client profiles so that farriers can sign up as a client and then use an advanced profile to manage their business. Equine therapists in the same fashion, even a saddle fitter could do the same thing.
Hmm. Everybody can tap
So,
into this and help their business.
yeah. So the goal is to have all these business aspects to it, but make it a complete program that connects the entire horse industry.
Hmm. How do people get signed up? How do they find more about StablePro?
So our website is stablepro.us.
That's the place. And you have YouTube videos. I guess you can access those from your website.
Yep, they're on the Learn More tab.
Sounds cool. Well, anything else to add, Sean? That was
No,
good. That was a
no,
great show.
good show. Yeah, very informative.
Yeah, it's been a fun project. It's brought so much passion to my life, just being able to work on this. And I had to because I was 16 hours a day, just going 7 days a week on this. And now we're finally reaching a point where it's starting to really roll out and affect people's lives in a positive way.
It's good. That's a neat feeling, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
good for you.
James Dexter, StablePro. Go out there and check them out, guys. StablePro.us. Thanks for joining us today. And we hope that you found some value in this show. Join us next time for another great one. Until next time, folks, hang in there.
Thank you for listening. For more information about today's show, please check out the show notes. Visit our website at www.petersonws.com or give us a call at 801-475-4002. Peterson Wealth Services is a registered investment advisor. This is a paid-for advertisement. Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up-to-date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussions and answers to questions do not involve the rendering of a personalized investment advice, but are limited to the dissemination of general information. A professional advisor should be consulted before implementing any of the options presented. Peterson Wealth Services.